my name's Francesca. I'm a BAMP registered nutritional therapist at the Skinni, Chilli Healthy Living Club. I'd like to talk to you today about stress and its impact on weight loss. So stress can come in so many different forms. Today's types of stress could be things like running for a train, trying to get to work on time, trying to get the kids into the childminders before you then catch a train to work. It could be being stuck in traffic, being stuck on a tube underground with loads of people. It can basically come in all sorts of forms. It can, stress can be more serious, like relationship issues or family issues, a bereavement that you're trying to carry on through life and deal with at the same time. Basically, in times of stress, the body is designed to help us by giving us extra energy so that we can cope with that stress. The problem is, if we're having these stresses all the time, so practically every single day, if not more, then the body's constantly releasing this extra energy for us to deal with the stress, but we don't actually need that extra energy. And that extra energy gets stored as fat in the body, usually around the middle, and that fat becomes quite stubborn and quite hard to get rid of and keep up with, especially if you're someone who's going to the gym every day to try and lose fat. If you're storing fat constantly every day, there's no amount of times that you're going to go to the gym that's actually going to keep up with that storage of fat. So I'll start by explaining a little bit of how that actually happens. So the body's response to stress is a physiological response that happens to everybody, and it's a protective response, and it goes back to the caveman days when many years ago a caveman, for example, he'd have to go out during the day and hunt and gather food. So his job would be to go out, find some food. So maybe he's not eaten for days and he's really hungry, so off he goes looking for food. On his way to find food, he may encounter a lion or a tiger, and this lion or tiger wants to kill him, so he has to run away as fast as he can and get away from this lion in order to save his life. So the body perceives the stress. So as soon as this guy finds this lion, he's going to, a stress response will be sent to his body, to what's known as the adrenal glands, the small glands that sit on top of your kidneys. And once those glands perceive a stress, for example, this man seeing the lion, they release the hormone cortisol, which releases sugar into the bloodstream to give the man energy to run away from the lion. So when the man has this energy, he runs away as fast as he can, and he does manage to outrun the lion and save his own life. So in that situation, the release of extra sugar into the bloodstream was extremely necessary, and the guy ran it off when he ran away. He ran away that excess sugar when he ran away from the lion. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we need that stress response for. But the problem is, in today's society, we don't have those same kind of physical stresses. We're not running away from lions and tigers to save our life. And we haven't had days of famine. We haven't had days where we haven't eaten anything at all, and we need the extra sugar, the extra energy. So the stresses that we have today give the same response. The body responds in exactly the same way as it did many years ago when we found a lion in front of us. So now if we're stuck in traffic and we're stressing because we're late for work and we're getting all uptight, the body perceives that as a stress and releases extra energy into the bloodstream. And this can happen all day long. You may then get to work and have an argument with your boss, or just have a stressful meeting, or just have an annoying client or something that's stressing you out. And then you may have a train to catch on the way home. You may have a child to pick up from the childminder. You may have to get in for a certain time to pick up another child from somewhere else. You've got to get the dinner ready. You've got all this stuff to do before you go to bed and get ready for work the next day. So this is chronic stress. This is stresses that are happening all through the day. And what's happening is blood sugar is constantly being raised in order to help you deal with this stressor. But this excess energy we don't burn off and we don't need, and it gets stored as fat, usually around the middle, and we just can't shift it no matter how hard we try. And the problem is, what makes things even worse is that with this, when we're trying to lose weight, we might think of calorie restriction and exercise, cardio types of exercise. These two things actually place further stress on the body. So the body perceives this as more stress. It's not actually helping the situation. So then more sugar gets released into the bloodstream for the body to cope with the calorie restriction and the excess exercise, or even if it's just one or the other. So then you're having extra trouble to lose the fat. So really we need to make sure that, number one, we're managing the stress levels in our life. So if you are running for the train every morning and you are getting stuck in traffic, maybe think about ways to reduce that stress. So maybe we could leave a bit earlier in the morning and take an earlier train and just sit on that train with a book and a nice cup of herbal tea and just get ready for the day, take some deep breaths and look forward to the day ahead. Just by doing that, you're going to cut the amount of sugar that's released into the bloodstream significantly. And also maybe there's ways we can, I don't know, just take different routes in the morning if we're going to get stuck in traffic, or leave that little bit earlier and arrive somewhere earlier if possible, and just take some deep breaths and relax. And also, when you're embarking on a diet, you need to make sure it's not a calorie restricted diet. It's actually something that feeds you properly. So you want to be taking in moderate amounts of protein, really good amounts of healthy fat, and nutrient dense carbohydrates. So we want to be starting the day with a good quality protein and fat based breakfast. For example, 3 scrambled eggs with some smoked salmon, and then include spinach, asparagus, mushrooms, tomatoes. They're your nutrient dense carbohydrates. And then you'd want to eat roughly every 4.5 hours, so you might be eating about 4 times a day, and this could be your 3 main meals plus maybe 1 snack. So a good example of this would be breakfast at around, preferably within an hour of waking, so maybe around 8, 9 o'clock for some people, and then your lunch around 1 o'clock, 1:30. Then you might have a snack between lunch and dinner. Maybe your snack's around 4:30, and then maybe you have dinner 7, 8 o'clock. It really does depend on your lifestyle. So that's how a good way to regulate your blood sugar level throughout the day. And every meal and snack including protein, healthy fat and nutrient dense carbohydrates, and really stripping out the sugar and the refined carbohydrates.